So I've got a little bit of left wrist bowing. That's for the club face mainly. I've got a little bit of palm down forearm rotation. That's the shallow shaft. I've got a little bit of elbow away internal rotation. That's the shallow shaft. So I'm going to put all three or some combination of those in. I'd start with the elbow away and the palm down. That's the shallow. So if you're very steep, notice when I'm steep, my elbow's towards me and my palm's this way. Shallow. Hey guys, we'd like to thank our partners at Municipal. Awesome clothing, super comfortable, can wear everywhere. I'm wearing Municipal whether I'm at home doing our swing reviews, whether I'm at the golf course doing videos, hanging out at home, out to eat. You've seen some of the shirts that I'm wearing. I got the polos on here. They fit super nice. They're breathable. The Municipal hats that I like the white, gray, and black, but they have all kinds of different colors and patterns that fit super well. Would highly recommend. So we're super pumped to be partners now with Municipal. We can bring you them, show you their stuff. We're gonna put a code down below, Eric20. We'll put all that in the description down below. Would highly recommend you guys go check them out. Hey guys, Eric here out at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're gonna talk about shallowing the shaft in the downswing, in particular, the left arm feels. Now, there's three things that are involved with the left arm, left shoulder, that are gonna affect the shallowing of the shaft that we're gonna go through. Now, let's just confirm what we mean by shallowing. Hopefully you saw the how to shallow right arm video that we did. If you didn't, we'll go over some of these checkpoints. What I would call or define a shallow shaft as would be when I get to left arm parallel in my downswing, the butt of the club should point outside the ball target line. So if that blue stick is a line between the ball and the target that goes forever, a shallow shaft would be one that points just outside of that at left arm parallel. Then it's going to ride through my forearm and then just inside my hands. But what we're looking for from the top is the shaft starts to pitch back away from the target a little. And you'll see this in some of the visuals, how the shaft works away, right behind me. So it gets a bit flatter. The shaft should come under my shoulder, through my forearm, and then right inside my hands. You'll see that's a fairly common downswing. At the end of this video, we'll put a card for why that's all really important, a video we did, but this is more so about the how and the left arm. Now, a steep shaft then would be one that gets more vertical. If we draw a line up the shaft and instead of it going backwards and pointing outside with the butt of the club, a steep shaft would point inside and work forwards. All kinds of compensations needed at the bottom. So we want a shallow shaft. Left arm feels, there's three things, two of which I'd say are mainly the shallowing. One is a bit more of the club face angle, but what we've got to work with here is the wrist, the forearm, and the shoulder. So the three pieces we have here, left wrist, forearm, and then the shoulder. So from the top of my swing, the wrist motion, the more my left wrist works towards bowing or flexing, that's going to have some effect on the shaft angle, but mainly what that's going to do is change the club face angle. See how when I twist or bow that it changes the club face angle? That's mainly a face thing. The two pieces with the arm that more directly affect the shallowing are the forearm rotation and the shoulder rotation, which can be seen through the elbow. Start with forearm rotation. So I can have my palm go up, supination, palm down, pronation. The more I go palm down with my left arm to start the downswing, the more the shaft goes shallow. We'll bring this back in for visual here. So we're always referencing the butt of the club relative to the ball target line. Notice when I go palm down, that makes it go more shallow. You could also feel a logo towards the sky here. Shoulder rotation, right? So if I did the opposite, palm up, that would steepen it, right? I don't want that when I come down. So I would go palm down, some pronation. That's part one that would shallow it. Shoulder rotation, I've got internal and external rotation. I want some internal rotation with my shoulder. That would be my elbow pointing more away from me, or my elbow going this way. Little internal shoulder rotation. So as I start down, not only can I go palm down or logo up, I can get my left elbow to point more away from me. Internal shoulder rotation. Notice as I do that, the shaft would go more shallow. If I go the other way, elbow more towards me, that gets the shaft going steeper. Maybe good if you want to steepen your backswing, not so good for the shallow downswing. So we've got forearm rotation shallows it, that's palm down. We've got shoulder rotation shallows it with the left arm, elbow away. Now, a common thing like we talked about with the right arm is players would say, hey, when I do this arm rotation and shoulder rotation, hey, I'm able to shallow the shaft, but what about the face is too open, the toes behind the heel? That's where the wrist mechanics come in, that third part. So you add a little bit of flexing or bowing of your left wrist in transition, and you notice when I do that, that changes the club face angle. So I'm just doing that little left wrist action there. So those three pieces are what shallows the shaft with the left arm. Do I need to feel those left arm pieces to shallow the shaft? No. Can I? Yes. Am I allowed to feel arm rotation to shallow the shaft? Yes, I am. So I've got a little bit of left wrist bowing. That's for the club face, mainly. I've got a little bit of palm down forearm rotation. That's to shallow the shaft. I've got a little bit of elbow away internal rotation. That's to shallow the shaft. So I'm going to put all three or some combination of those in. I'd start with the elbow away and the palm down. That's to shallow. So if you're very steep, notice when I'm steep, my elbow's towards me and my palm's this way. Shallow. Elbow away, palm down. Am I allowed to add forearm rotation? Yes. Manually? Yes. Elbow away, left palm down. And that's a piece that's going to get that shaft behind me. Now, how much of that do I need to do? You need to do it specifically to the point where when you record it on video and you check yourself at left arm parallel, your shaft is just outside the ball line. So is my left palm really all the way down towards the ground? No, that'd be dead horizontal. It's on an angle. But since I'm normally steep, which is this way, I feel down with my palm to get it to neutral. How much? To the point where the butt of the club is just outside ball line. Elbow. If I'm normally steep, my elbow's down. I feel like it's away, this much, no. Just kind of on an angle there, right about horizontal, kind of a diagonal. So I want to feel that to the degree that I hit the checkpoint. I want to feel that to the degree that I hit the checkpoint. How much depends on where you're coming from. Left elbow away, palm down towards the ground. Left elbow away, palm down. If I'm super duper steep in transition, I probably have to feel super duper of those shallowing pieces, likely an unbelievable amount. If I'm only a touch steep, I probably have to feel a touch of those. Now, I would be doing the left elbow, left palm down, or the logo up. And then if I'm struggling with the club face being open, then I'd add the wrist piece in. Left elbow away, palm down with a little bit of the curl on the knuckles away. That would help with the club face piece. Elbow down, elbow away, palm down, little knuckles. And that's a beautiful little draw. So we're gonna put a card on the end of the screen. In fact, maybe Mary, let's put two cards on this video. Let's put the why you should shallow we did with John Bierkin, why this is all important. You should have seen visuals here that obviously good players do this. We'll also put the video we did with the right arm mechanics, you can check that. We'll also put cogornogolf.com. If you're struggling with steepening your shaft, there could very likely be things earlier on. It takes someone like me, some of our expert coaches to look and say, hey, you also need to change this club face. Hey, this setup piece needs to be changed. We can help guide you at cogornogolf.com. If you have any questions about this, leave a comment down below. Click the like if you liked it, and check out those other videos we did on shallowing the downswing.